Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another scene of Living World of Darkness, Camarilla venue. Scene set with Jason walking towards the Ventrus Towers gymnasium, set on the first floor, when he randomly runs into another vampire. Unbeknownst to him, Jason is walking in the dark, and as such is mindlessly using his Protean 1 ability to be able to see in the dark. His eyes glowing red. He never seems to get the concept that his eyes do that when he walks.
Antonio will stop and he'll stare for a second at Jason and just kind of stare him right in the eyes. Like, let me guess. Gangrel?
Jason looks completely shocked at this and jumps a little bit at being addressed randomly and being addressed so quickly as a vampire.
Grab back 1 second.
Nod and try to place a face, but pause right there. Give him a moment.
I'm back, sorry about that.
Not a problem. So picking up where I left off, Jason will look at him for a moment, try to place his face, and trying to rack his brain. He's met so many new vampires lately. And but he'll slowly nod and say, "Yeah, I'm from the Gangrel clan. How'd you guess?"
Well, I also guessed you were a vampire. You are using an ability that is indicative of your clan, usually. It's not really seen outside of that clan.
And with that, Jason thinks for a moment, and then his eyes slowly go back to normal as he realizes, oh crap, doing it again. And he shakes his head, blinks a couple times to make the effect go away, and he's like, I'm sorry, ever since I was embraced, I had the ability to see in the dark, and I keep forgetting that my eyes go red when I do that. But I see that you're familiar, so hopefully I wasn't breaking the first rule by doing that. Thank you for catching me, that's for sure.
Well, that is not the only concern. What if I had been particularly hostile, or a hunter, or perhaps a mage with something against vampires? You would have given yourself away.
Yeah, gotta keep trying to remember this. I'm just still learning. But, you know, it's so different living this way, but I'm making do. Fortunately, I know my way around here a little bit, as I've been here for a little while, but I figured I was still in friendly territory, and that's probably why I let my guard down. Let it slip.
Yes, it is always good to keep your guard up. And you will notice that this is a Spanish man, about in his 50s, basically that guy right here, the guy in my thing. He has a cane that he's using. He's not really using it to walk, you notice. He looks a bit flamboyant, and if you didn't know better, you might assume he was a Toreador. Well, you might not know better.
Jason.
And what is your name?
Jason. A pleasure to meet you. You notice he purposely leaves off his last name.
Ah, Jason. A pleasure to meet you as well. My name is Antonio de la Vega.
And Jason holds out his hand. He, on the other hand, is not so finely dressed. Though in a suit, it is somewhat tattered and worn, and given a few more months of hard working, it could very easily be mistaken for a hobo suit.
He takes it and gives it a shake. And releases it after giving it a firm shake. And what brings you here this time of night?
Oh, I was heading off to the Ventru Towers. They have a gym on the first floor, and it's where I like to work out, keep up my abilities and strength. I used to be a bodyguard back in my human life. Hopefully I'll find a job close to that now that I've turned.
Yes, you will find there are many opportunities to be had if you take them in this life.
If you'd like, you are more than welcome to join me. I could use a sparring partner. Most of the time it's just me in a punching bag.
Well, I could use a bit of training, I suppose. He will follow Jason.
And a few blocks later, he gets to the Ventru Towers. Once he gets there, the guard posted at the door nods at him, and definitely as if he knows him from coming and going a lot. And we'll look at Antonio, and Jason will be like, "Oh, he's with me, he's with me." And they'll let him through to go to the gymnasium, or to the gym that's set up on the first floor of the towers. Unfortunately, I don't have a description for the gymnasium yet. I haven't been able to catch a scene with the guy who owns it.
All right. He will follow, nodding at the guard. He hasn't really been here before, but he doesn't. He doesn't really, he hasn't really been here, but he takes in his surroundings, wondering about this young vampire. I see. So, how did you find this place, Mr. Jason?
Oh, I'm with a coterie, and our offices are set up on the 7th floor. This is actually Lady Sheridan's building, and she gave the floor to Celia Rossi, the lead of our coterie, when we started to get set up.
Ah, I see. I've met Senora Sheridan.
And as they're talking, he'll go to the changing rooms where he'll quickly change out of his suit and into a pair of sweats, looking actually better conditioned than the suit he was wearing, before heading back out onto the floor, where he'll start up with some warm-up exercises, showing Antonio how to do them if Antonio has not seen them before.
He's able to keep up surprisingly well for an old man. If he wasn't a vampire already, if you didn't know he was a vampire already, you might wonder at this old man's agility. Just because he wants to show off, Jason doesn't notice this, but he uses he spends a few blood points. He actually spends 3 and increases his dexterity to 6. And you notice he's very, very limber for some strange reason. You've never quite seen an old man this limber before.
Well, Jason is thoroughly impressed and looking forward to doing some fisticuffs with him shortly. But he keeps that to himself as they stretch out. So, how long have you been in the city?
Oh, I've been in the city for a while now. I have recently become the leader of my clan.
Oh, so that would make you a... and he seems to struggle trying to find the word for a second. Primogen? I hope I said that right.
Yes. Primogen. I may not be the best person to ask. English is not my first language. So I couldn't tell you if you are saying it right or not. I think you're saying it just fine. But yes, I am the Primogen of my clan.
I'm trying to learn all these new words. It's all been dumped on me within the last couple weeks. And so I'm trying to keep up and trying to use them when I can. But congratulations to you for that position. I hear most of the Primogens are fairly powerful in the city. The couple I've met have seemed to be anyway.
Ah, which have you met?
Well,
I may know them.
Go ahead.
You just said I may know them.
Well, the Lady Sheridan, of course, and even though Frank Green doesn't say he's our Primogen, he says he's our stand-in, but he's also the Claw of the Clan, which I think ranks him up there next to the Primogen rank.
Yes, I believe that is basically the second in command of the clan. We have a similar structure.
And then I believe Limey, I believe he's a Harpy, but I don't know if that makes him the Primogen of his clan or not.
No, Harpy is usually for the Camarilla as a whole, not necessarily the individual clan. I am not sure I've met their Primogen though.
So I still don't know what the Harpy is. He just told me that was his title and that he would fill me in at a later date. I, as of yet, have had a chance to meet, to talk to him again.
He is the person in the city whose bad side you do not want to be on. Aside from the sheriff and your own Primogen, any other Primogens, and the prince himself, at the meetings of those like us, the Harpies are those who can create or destroy your status with the, among other kindred. They're fairly powerful socially. Welcome to the very complex social structure of the Camarilla.
Well, hopefully I'll be able to get it all straight one of these days. It looks like the boxing ring opened up. Would you like to put on some pads and have a go at it?
Sure, why not?
And with this, Jason will put on pads more for your sake than his own. He doesn't fear getting hurt anymore ever since he took a cliff dive a couple nights prior.
At this point, he is going to activate, just because he still wants to show off, because he's that much of a pompous ass. He activates Blood of Potency, just for fun. And that is a willpower roll. And it is difficulty 3 plus the path level, so 6. One, two, three. He is now Gen 5 for an hour. Alright. And he's, that was his first blood point. He spends 2 more and just puts his dexterity up to 8 now.
Alright. Jason will get into the ring with him. Clearly unknown to all of this. And we'll start with just some slow jabs, just trying to feel out of his opponent. So dexterity plus brawl. See how I do. Four successes. Go ahead and roll dexterity athletics for or dexterity brawl, either one, whatever's higher, for dodging as well as counterattack.
Yeah. He's just gonna dodge right now. It's dexterity plus brawl, so 8 plus 2 is 10. Eight successes.
So for the life of Jason, he cannot land a hit.
This old man, you're not quite sure how powerful this vampire is, but he kind of just, weaves almost effortlessly out of the way of every single one, of his attempt at punching.
And Jason will nod. Very good moves, very good moves. And he'll go another round of it, trying to land some more hits. And 1 success.
He's going to just try to dodge again. And once more, he effortlessly just weaves out of the way.
Jason will nod in approval. Well, I can definitely tell that this isn't your first time in the ring.
The blood gives quickness to vampires.
I've unfortunately only come up against humans. I've not had the honor of facing off against another supernatural yet. Definitely puts me in my place. And while trying to banter, he's going to continue just to take swings, getting a little bit more aggressive each passing moment as he can't land a hit. Definitely working his nerve a little bit.
He is going to he's going to spend some blood on his strength now, just to show off to the neonate, even though he knows intrinsically that he's a Gangrel. He's probably not going to hurt this guy with a punch, so he can still teach him a few things about spending blood. He is going to spend only 3 blood on strength to raise it up to 5. So 4. Okay. So one shot at this. He attempts to dodge again. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once again, he weaves out of the way. And this time, he actually actually attempt to return the favor. He won't try to block. He weaves out of the way this time. He's like, your moves are good, but what do you know about your blood and its uses?
Well, I know that I get a little bit thirstier when I use my abilities to sink into the ground or when I bring out my claws. Other than that, I haven't learned much.
He, are we going to do the next one?
Also at this time, Jason will try to taunt him a little bit. But I see you're good at dodging, but you still have yet to throw a punch. Come at me, bro.
He smiles, balling up a fist. And just launching it at Jason. And if he actually connects, wait, hang on. I have to make sure. Get back. It's actually possible real quick. If he connects, he's going to try to use Blood Rage just for fun. Just for fun. Not, just kidding, he's not. He's not that much of a douche.
Yeah, let's do that to a Gangrel.
Give him a boner. Okay, he's just going to throw a punch.
Alright.
6 successes.
I only have 2, so I'll definitely take a hit.
Probably won't do crap to you, but he was that for dodging?
Yeah, that was just trying to dodge out of the way.
He has 4, and this was a punch. I think that's strength +1.
Yes.
3, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And then I believe I roll a soak.
Yeah. So 4. Yeah, it doesn't do much to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Stamina.
Yeah. It's Yeah, you notice he still lands on you. It doesn't really do much. He wasn't really trying to hurt you anyway. It was just he actually lands on you, and you weren't able to land on him.
Yeah. And Jason kind of chuckles a little bit because he's still trying to get used to this whole stuff doesn't hurt concept that he just learned a couple nights ago when he went flying off a cliff. So it was just like he took the punch and he knew it should have hurt somewhat because he saw you moving and knew that you knew a little bit of what you were doing. But again, it was just like, oh, hey. That did.
Yeah, he smiles. It's like, by the way, if you're ever trying to actually hurt another vampire, don't use punches. We're very resilient to that stuff.
Well, if I was trying to actually hurt a vampire, and if I was trying to hurt them, that means I was trying to kill, the claws would come out. Which is the only time Frank Green tells me I'm allowed to use those in a combat scenario.
True enough. But we are all friends here, so not a big deal. And I find it highly unlikely you'll ever be in actual combat against a Tremere.
Well, definitely not at this stage of the game. You move really fast. Your age definitely does not show that.
The Tremere, well, the blood is very potent. You can end up using your blood in the same way as you spend it to sprout your claws or sink into the ground, to improve your resilience, as if a gangrel needs to do that, or improve your speed, as I have, or improve your strength, as I have. It makes you hungry, though. Beware.
Huh. Well, I'll definitely have to give that a try when I have more time on my hands and in a safe environment.
Yes, it's always good to practice new things in seclusion, so that your inexperience with him does not betray you in a fight with Sabat.
True enough, true enough. With this, Jason will start taking off the boxing gloves and the pads and start to climb out of the ring, holding the ropes open to let you through.
Antonio will go through. It's like, although, I have a thought. Do you happen to know, well, we've seen that we are both decently capable at hand-to-hand, but do you happen to know anything about using weaponry in any situations? You said you are a bodyguard, no?
Yeah.
I imagine you used a billy club. Is that what you call it? Billy club? He thinks for a second, trying to find the word. Because he's never really had to use it in English. As a bodyguard.
Something like that. They call it a billy club over in England, but we just call it a nightstick here in the Americans.
Ah, well, much as you are new to the club, I am new to this country. So,
Hey, not a problem. But yeah, I've used some of those. Though a better version is Tonfa. Uh, those are pretty fun. They're kind of like it, except longer, and they cover your forearms.
That can be very useful.
Makes good for bashing someone's face in. But yeah, I have plenty of practice. I try to train with as many different hand-to-hand combat weapons as possible. Even though I know how to fire a gun, it's not my most favorite of weapons to use.
It's also very loud. It's also hard to hurt people like us with guns. It's possible, it's just harder to get a spot that will hurt.
True enough. Well, let's see what they have around here. And he goes and looks at a small little rack that's set off to the side, and he does find a set of nightsticks, apparently, and pulls them out and twirls one around, tests the weight. It's like, yeah, these would be good for practicing. I could show you a few tricks if you're interested.
Sure, this is not something I've done a lot of, but my quickness should keep me from being overwhelmed by someone else. I would still like to make it a little easier to use, just in case.
But of course. And he hands over a nightstick and proceeds to show him just some of the basic maneuvers. Not doing any hand-to-hand combat with it yet. I actually know very little about nightsticks, but basically just basic guard position to deflect an attack, as well as the turnabout, so you can attack with it to do a underleg sweep or a bash over the head, as the case would be.
He seems to be a reasonably quick learner, applying some of the knowledge he's learned from hand-to-hand combat in the same way. He seems to be a bright vampire.
And then after some instruction, Jason will say, well, you're definitely getting the hang of it. Maybe next time we get together, we'll find something like a bow staff or quarterstaff, if that be. Maybe even some swords, if I can get my hands on some. Those are always fun. And we'll go from there.
Yes, it would be a very good learning experience.
And at this point, Jason's pocket will ring shrilly twice before he fumbles around and pulls out a burner phone. He'll take a look at it and flip it open and make it quiet, read a message, and then close it, put it back in his pocket. Sorry about that. My roommate was wondering where I was. I haven't been making it home on time recently. She's just worried.
I see. He pulls out a card. Like, well, if you should ever need the services of Clan Tremere, in exchange for this, helping me to learn about these things, feel free to give me a call. He hands you the card. Like, that number, you can reach me there.
And Jason will take the card and put it in his pocket, and then he'll say, sorry, I have my notepad in my suit. Let me go run and get that, and I'll give you the number I am currently using. and he'll lob off a slow jog, heading back to the changing room. And while he's back there, he'll change really quickly and come back out, literally pulling out a small notepad and pencil and ripping out a page and writing down his number. Definitely not as fancy as everybody else with their business cards. And he will hand over the piece of paper.
He takes it and puts it in his pocket. He gives a small smile. Well, it was good to meet you, Jason. I hope that we can one day rid the city of these sabots and move on to more profitable ventures that don't involve learning how to kill each other and damage them. The threat of injury is always pain. But
well, true enough. And it was a pleasure to meet you. And another time, maybe. And he'll give a slight bow.
he nods before exiting the gym. Have a good night, Mr. Verdell. No, Mr. Jason. And try to remember those eyes. He will leave.
Jason will chuckle slightly at that. Thank you. Thank you very much. And with that, he will start jogging off the way he had come. We'll end the scene there. Thank you, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. Have a good day.